Hi, I'm Alana and I am here with my Rhinebeck Haul. I'm a knitter and I also can crochet. I like to do embroidery, needlepoint, and I love to collect yarn. I can journal and I love fountain pens and more. um, Right now, it's called Big Happy Yarn Channel, but so far it's a small Happy Yarn Channel. It's big on the happy, but it's small on the content, but there's more to come, and this is going to be a really fun and chatty video about all of the yarns that I collected at Rhinebeck. There are also buttons and some pottery that I'm not going to show in this video. I can show them on another video, but I don't have them all here. I do have all of the yarn here that I purchased. And I've been getting a lot of questions about what I got, so I'm gonna just dive right into it. I went to on the Friday of Rhinebeck, I went to first Woolen Affair, which is a beautiful event at a brick factory up in Kingston, New York. And it was lovely. The location was beautiful and they had great yarns. I also went to Untangled later that day, and that was also a really well-run event, beautiful vendors, very inspiring. That was at a stable called Hits on the Hudson in Saugerties. And then Saturday and Sunday, we went to Rhinebeck Sheep and Wool Festival, which is in the town of Rhinebeck at the Dutchess County Fairgrounds. All of these events take place on the third weekend in October every year. And yeah, I love it. And that is where I love to pick out lots of yarns that I knit throughout the year. So first I'm going to start off with my Woolen Affair haul. I didn't get this bag there, but that artist who made it was there. Her name is Krista Jackal, and she makes these giant, I think they're called the festival bags. They're hand painted, hand printed, handmade, hand sewn, hand everything, and she is a true artist. Krista Jackal is her name. I'm looking to see if her name is inside the bag somewhere so I could show it. But she's lovely. Am I back? I don't know. Okay, I'm not sure what happened or if that will show up as frozen. But anyway, the first thing I want to show is something that was really special to me. There's a yarn company that's been around for quite a while. It's called Koigu, and it's spelled like this. I don't know if that's backwards. If it is, I'm sorry, but it's only 5 letters. Hopefully you can figure out what it says. This is a company that's based in Canada, and it is art. And it's been around for at least 20 years, as long as I've been knitting for sure. And they make the most beautiful hand-dyed yarn, just gorgeous. And I have been following them that whole time. My first pair of socks, I believe, was in Koigu sock yarn. It's called KPPPM, Koigu Painter's Palette, something else, Merino. And so I got to meet Koigu, the daughter, whose name is Kirsty. There was a yarn named after her, a yarn line, which is being discontinued, sadly. But it was a huge moment for me to get to meet her. I was very starstruck, and I'll post the photo of that meeting because I was like, I couldn't believe I was meeting her. I was so excited. So these are the yarns that I got from Koigu. They're an Aran weight, which I haven't tried their Aran weight before. I've tried their DK weight and their fingering weight yarns, and they're lovely and so soft and so beautiful. This is called Chelsea, 100% merino wool. The color, they don't name them, so the color is C5340, and it's actually... I was trying to pick a color that I don't have a lot of already. And actually this sweater, I don't have a lot of these colors already. So I think this was a good choice, but it's definitely adjacent to the sweater I'm wearing. And I think I have enough for a vest. So I was thinking of making a vest with these beautiful skeins. I have 5. Each of them is 100 something yards, 125 yards. So that was my first and most exciting purchase because I got to meet Kirsty, who I had been seeing since she was a little kid. That was amazing. Next up, woo, next up, I stopped at Moondrake. Moondrake, I just love Moondrake. I love being around her. She's so inspiring. Everything she says and does is so fun, and I love her. And I had seen that she was going to have this very special yarn, Kira Kira. It's a lace weight, 546 yards, and it is not only sparkly, but it also has very tiny sequins in there. So I'm going to hold it like this in hopes that you can maybe get a glimpse of some sequins in the light. But they're very small and very subtle, if sequins can be subtle. And hopefully some of them are showing up. They're teeny tiny and adorable and beautiful. And I didn't know what I was gonna make, so I just picked up some skeins that seemed like they would be a good amount. I could make a shawl or a tank or a sweater. So this one is the naked colorway, which I picked up second, and this is the sweet pea colorway, which I picked up first. Both have the sequins. And I picked up this one and I loved it, the color, and I think it's a good color for me. But then I realized a white one would be just so snowy and wintry and sparkly. I love them. So maybe I'll hold it together with something or do it on its own, really open and loose, or even do something with them together, stripey. As you could see, I pick out yarn not necessarily for a project, although I did pick out some yarn specifically for a project, which I'm about to show. So then I also stopped at U2 Yarns. This is the label, U2. This was a very beautiful and colorful booth, and I really fell hard for this yarn, and if I see it again, I'm going to definitely get some more because this is awesome. So this is the Aran weight. This was kind of an impulse buy. I just loved the color and I loved how soft it was. It is Mellow Aran, 100% merino, super fine, 3-ply, 182 yards in the Estes 24 color. So I guess this was probably for that fiber festival. And so I liked it. I figured I'll make a hat. It's just a good color to have in my stash. But then you'll see I did pick out yarn for a specific project, which is exciting and surprising. So there was a shawl in the booth called the Tulipalooza shawl, and Haisuke and I just fell in love with it. So they had these bundles. I believe that these are 5 minis of DK that are just wound up together. And then for the shawl, you need one of these, and then you need a full skein of DK. But these are actually different bases, but I just loved how soft the colors are together. So this one is Mellow DK, which is a superwash, 100% merino. Altogether, it's 580 yards, but each mini in there is 116 yards. But then this one here is 100% merino untreated. So I think that means not superwash, which is fine. This will be the border for this. So it has kind of a bigger border, and by that point you have a lot of stitches on the needle for a shawl. So that's why I guess you need the full skein. But I'm really excited to cast that one on, Tulipalooza, and it is by the person who dyes these yarns, and it was gorgeous. They had a beautiful sample in the booth. I wonder if I have comments. I'm not sure if I could see them, but that's okay. So that is what I picked out at Woolen Affair. I also, like I said, I got some pottery, I got a journal. I'm not showing those right now, but I can do another video with that if someone's interested. Next up, I have Indie Untangled. Oh, wait. I missed something. I forgot I stuck that over there. So Jade Sapphire. Jade Sapphire is another yarn brand that's definitely been around, I think, 20 years or more. They specialize in cashmere. They've always specialized in cashmere. And I have had some of their yarns since the 2000s, the early 2000s. And I was really excited and honestly surprised to see that they would be at Jade Sapphire because I've never seen them at a show before. And same with the Koigu, I didn't know. And they were doing these mini sets. So I was really excited to see that. So I picked up a mini set from them. This is from their mini ombre collection. They offer some free patterns with it. And there's also some suggestions for buying some patterns. But I have some leftovers of DK weight cashmere in my stash. Some are Lamb & Kid and Clinton Hill cashmere. And I just thought that this would be a good palette to go with them. And I'm going to take them out of the box, actually for the first time. I haven't opened this box yet, so I just wanted to take them out so I could show them off. Where does this go? Oh, it's sealed. The color is Scarab. So we'll do a little unboxing. And the owner was in there, and she was so nice. And I said, I wasn't sure. I said to her, I wasn't sure if it was the same owner as it always was, because I haven't heard about you guys in a while. She goes, I'm Jade Sapphire. I hope I didn't offend her. She was lovely. But so it turns out the owner is Jade Sapphire. And so these are the cashmere minis. They're 100% cashmere in DK, Zageo. And they're super nice. I should have gotten more. This is a nice color on me. I should have gotten more of that. That's okay. I'm going to put it with my mini skeins that I already have, which was the original plan. And I want to make a shawl or a scarf or something super fun. Okay, so now that was the end of my Woolen Affair stash. Next up, we have Untangled. And Untangled was quite a whirlwind. The most exciting thing that I was excited to see is I wanted to see Jill Zelensky and Ed because they are so lovely. I met them at a trunk show and they met Danny and I think my kids were there and we really bonded. And they had a new yarn line coming out. So this is the new color from their new yarn line. It's called Lemongrass and it's Bay Blend DK by North Bay Fiber. They're calling it a heavy DK or light worsted, and it's non-superwash and it's woolen spun, which I am learning more about woolen spun, but it just means it's very airy and lofty the way it's spun, and I'm learning how to actually spin woolen spun, but it is so light. So if you have knit with alpaca before, like if you have knit with a full alpaca sweater before, it just kind of hangs. This does not hang. So first of all, it's only 15% alpaca, so it has all the softness and all the greatest attributes of alpaca, but then it's 85% Targhee and polypay wool. I'm not familiar with polypay wool, so if anyone would like to add any details about polypay wool in the comments, please share your knowledge about it. But I do know Targhee, and Targhee is lovely, and it has a great hand, and actually I'm making a cowl in Targhee right now, and it is almost cottony in the way it feels, but it's so strong and poofy, and this yarn is awesome. So I was really inspired by Jill Zelensky's Owen hat, and I can put a link to that below. Now that I'm on YouTube, I'm learning all the lingo. I'll put the link down there. And I bought a whole palette of this yarn in different colors so that I can make her Owen hat. The Owen hat used to be a plucky knitter design, but Jill got her patterns back now and she's knitting them up in her own yarns, which is so exciting and frankly so cool. And I wanted to make one, but I was feeling the only way I could describe it is fachatted. Just a little chaotic in the booth. So I just kept grabbing some yarns. So this is the palette that I came up with. The hat only uses, I believe, 3 or 4 colors. I got 6, and I'm just gonna mix and match. I don't know what's gonna be my main color or my contrast colors. I feel like I can maybe make 5 hats out of these 6 skeins if I mix and match the main colors. So maybe I'll make hats for my whole family in this palette if I'm feeling ambitious. But I really loved this. I really love this yarn, and it's now available in limited quantities, but I think there's more coming. I love this. And it actually, it's funny because, of course, it matches my whole sweater also. In fact, so like, here, look. So she put this, and I wasn't even wearing the sweater at the time, but it's definitely those colors. Okie dokie. And then I needed a whole, so that was for hats, but then I needed a whole sweater because I felt this yarn. I'm like, I need this. So I bought a sweater quantity also of this yarn. So if you have a favorite sweater pattern for DK/heavy worsted, let me know. And you know, if you were in the booth at the time when I was buying this, I was asking everybody, do you think this is a good color for me? What color should I get? Do you think this looks good? I was doing that a lot. And I settled on this one. Do you guys think it's a good color for me? So I'm excited about that. Definitely looking forward to knitting that one up. So I'm gonna wind these up. I think I'm gonna wind up the yarn for the Tulipalooza shawl, and I'm gonna wind up the yarn for the, I wanna try out this new Bay blend from Joe. Thanks, Jan. Very good color for you. Aw, thanks, Jan. I think I look good in those kind of autumnal colors. So it's always a safe bet. 29 Bridges, another lovely, lovely person. And I met her at a trunk show as well before. And I was so excited to see her booth. And here's the thing about 29 Bridges. First of all, awesome person, but she has the best samples. They are so, you just want to make everything. And you touch it and it feels so extra special. Her yarn is just gorgeous and you just want everything in her booth. It's just so I got this palette to make the Kettle Cove vest. This was a vest on the cover of Lina magazine. I have to be honest, I didn't really notice it when I first saw it on the cover of Lina magazine. I remember it because I remember it uses the Durarum Natura yarns originally, but I don't know, I didn't clock it, I didn't cue it, I don't know, I just wasn't paying attention to it. And then when I saw the one in the booth, I was blown away. It's so gorgeous in this yarn. This is the yarn she used, different colors, but so this is Bloom non-superwash DK, and it's Columbia Targhee Rambouillet, 240 yards each. So I'm gonna make a vest, the Kettle Cove vest, with these three. And I'm impressed with myself that I actually got yarn for a specific project, which I don't usually do, but I'm okay with that because then I match it to a pattern later. And then she had these mini kits, and I just thought, I loved this palette. I just thought it was so cute. And I figured maybe if I have leftover from the vest, I could even incorporate that with the mini kit. In fact, I think some of these colors might be in there. It's the same yarn, the Bloom non-superwash DK, 29 Bridges. But this is 14 mini skeins and each one is 24 yards. And I don't know, it's just cute and I wanted it. So that's my Woolen Affair haul. So that was what I just showed. That was from Friday. And you know what? I was feeling like I got a lot of yarn and it might be too much to show and it was embarrassing, but actually I feel like I did good and I didn't go crazy. So maybe it was not as bad as I think. Okay. Oh, and I also got a tote bag from Indie Untangled. I was smart. I pre-ordered it this time. Last year I didn't, and I didn't get one, and I wanted one, so I pre-ordered it this time. And I like the logo. I think it's very cute. So I got a tote bag, which is great because I needed it to hold all of my yarn. Rhinebeck. So Rhinebeck Sheep and Wool. So the shows on Friday, those popped up because it's hard to get a booth in Rhinebeck. Apparently people are grandfathered in and they pass down through generations, and a lot of the hand dyers want a booth and they won't let them. There's a lot of drama with that. I am thankfully not really involved with the drama. I just go and have a great time. So that's why there's been a spillover into the Friday shows. But their Saturday and Sunday is the Rhinebeck Sheep and Wool, which was originally the main attraction. So what's this? Oh yeah. Okay, what did I get? So I was super excited to see Fiber MacGyver. Fiber MacGyver was at Woolen Affair on Friday, and I ended up just feeling really overwhelmed walking through there. It wasn't packed. It was a beautiful event. I just was like, I have to take a break with the shopping. I couldn't tell how much I bought already. It felt like overwhelming. So I didn't make it over to Woolen Affair, and I was really sad because I wanted to meet her and I wanted to see her yarns because I hadn't seen them before. And then the best thing happened. She was at Rhinebeck too, right next to my favorite button person, Hall and Hoof. So I got to do both of those on Saturday, and I was really happy about that. The first thing I saw in the booth was this disco color of Surrey silk. And you might be asking, what are you going to make with that fun and crazy skein? And the answer would be, I don't know. But it is 74% baby Surrey alpaca, 26% silk, and I fell in love with it. And it's 328 yards, and that's it. So I was thinking maybe I'd make a white sweater and then hold this together with just the edges of the sleeves and the bottom part and kind of make it look like it's dipped in these colors, because the halo will be these colors, but the main part will be just white. So that's kind of a baseline plan. But if a hat pattern or something else comes up, maybe I'll do that. And I just love this. And the light was hitting it just the right way. And I wanted it. And now it's mine. And I love it. And it's called Disco. Also, this is a colorway called Foxy. Wow, it's really glowing. I got 3 of these. I've always wanted to make the Nebula sweater by Andrea Mowry, so maybe I'll make that or something similar that comes my way. It's Surrey Silk DK, which I find is kind of hard to find. Oh, I got a comment. Laura, hello. Hi, Laura. How are you? It's 90% baby Surrey alpaca, 10% silk, 246 yards. And this reminded me, it might be a little more pink, but it reminded me of the color Electric Pink Candy by Moondrake. And I always get a lot of compliments when I wear that color. So I figured I would try this Fiber MacGyver and make another tee, but fluffy. I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. Okay, no, it passed. But I also really like it with this together. I really like this color combination. So there's a chance maybe I'll find some way to put them together, or if there's leftovers from one of the projects, maybe I'll put that together. But I did get a sweater quantity of the Fiber MacGyver. This colorway is called Sage, and this is Shanico DK. I've heard people call it Shanico and Shanico, so if you know the right way to say it, please correct me. 100% Shanico wool, 3-ply, 100 grams, 260 yards. So I did get a sweater quantity of that. Cropped sweater, because I'm short. And grown, processed, and spun in the USA. And this yarn is very round. I don't know what else to say about it. I think the stitch definition is going to be incredible. It's just like a very round. And I think it's so fun together with this. So maybe I can make something that I use them together too. But this Shanico, it's nice. It's DK. It's like a nice yarn. And in fact, at the booth, they had the Kettle Cove vest in the booth knit out of this yarn, but I had already gotten the yarn at 29 Bridges to make that vest. But then maybe I'll swap in some colors, or I can even probably use some of the minis together with this. So I have a lot of decisions. Okay, this is the last thing to show, last purchase. I got a sock blank. I just fell in love with it. So sock blank, what's a sock blank? Why? So somebody said, why is it already knitted up? What is that? Why is it knitted up? Like, I mean, look at these colors. And then they had a sweater in the booth where it was a yoke and they used a sock blank in the yoke. It was very cool looking. So I could do it for a yoke. It doesn't have to be for socks. Okay, what is a sock blank? So so it's an already knit tube, or sometimes it's a tube, sometimes it's more like, well, I'll just open it and show you. It's already knit. And then it comes white. And then they dye it. The dyers dye it. Okay, this is cool. So, and then they dye it like this. So you could paint stuff on there. I've actually painted a sock blank before. You could write stuff. Like you could even write like inspiring messages on there. And then I'll stay on one page. Then when you knit it, you unravel it. So you could see there's ends here. I'm guessing that's where you're supposed to start from. You unravel it and then you just knit off of it. So you pull it apart, you just pull that off, and then you start knitting, and then you're knitting, but the colors stay like that. So when you dye a skein, do I have a variegated? Yeah, when you dye a skein, this is gonna make like a variegated. This is gonna stripe like this. So it's just a different way. And this one's so cool. It has crazy speckles. I'm so excited to see how it's gonna knit up. And it's been a while since I bought a sock blank. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna get myself a sock blank because that's cool. This sock blank, so some sock blanks are knit with a single strand, and then your socks may not match if you're making socks. This sock blank is knit with a double strand. It says it on the ball label here. There's all kinds of information inside the ball label. It says, this blank is knit double to create 2 identical pieces, or you can hold the strands double for colorwork projects. So you can hold 2 strands and then you would have a thicker yarn, make it like a worsted, or you could separate them. You can wind them off if you want, or you can just knit right off of this. And it's going to be 2 strands. And I just thought this was super cool. So thank you all so much for watching my first long form live video. If you have any questions, please put them down below and I would be happy to answer all of them. I will be providing links for anything that anyone was interested in. And please don't forget to subscribe. That's something that YouTubers say, I believe. So thank you so much for watching my haul, and I hope to be back soon. Bye!